If you're anything like me, you may have seen one of these. It's a coffee scoop. And yes, it's one piece and it was turned on the lathe. Stay tuned and see how it was done. So I started with a branch, and it's a branch of a wood that I don't normally see around here. It's called Hornbeam or Ironwood. It's very hard wood. And this was happened to be quite wet as well. So I'm just turning it round and using my roughing gouge, and you can see it's cutting well. Even though it is a hard wood, it is cutting well. One thing I did find with it, besides the fact it's very, very wet, and you can see that with the bark peeling off, it cut well, but it didn't scrape well. The scraper tend to tear it up, whereas my roughing gouge and bowl gouge did a good job cutting it. Now, this is my first time turning scoops, and you can see I have 4 blanks here, which were wet, so I loaded them into my kiln to dry out, and here it is coming out of my kiln. This was a branch. It's 3 3/4 inches in diameter. I want to do a coffee scoop that's got a 2-inch bowl. But you'll notice here that it's got some heartwood, which is where the color is. This out here is pretty white. I want to make my bowl of my coffee scoop in this dark section. But I also want to avoid the pith. But I think I can do that if I treat this, if I turn it here, basically, and get rid of this. So what I could do is I could take it over to the bandsaw and just make it 2.5 inches offset. Just make 2.5 inches here. So I got this, and that'll put the pith off center. I think that's what I'll do. So here's a good shot. You can see I'm still not round. You see, especially over on the left-hand side, the ghosting. And that's where you see an image, but it's not continuous. I can feel that on the tool as well. So at this point, I just keep turning it until I have no more ghosting. All right, these have come out of my kiln. They're dry. This one's got a crack, but I can work around that. I want to avoid the pith if at all possible, and I think I can. So this total is 2.5, so if I go just off center, because I don't want the pith in the handle, so I can go down here. That's still going to give me 2 inches, which is plenty big enough for a scoop. So I'm going to come down off center here, and we'll round it up and create our scoop. So it will turn out of balance in the beginning, just because it's off axis. But that's 750 RPM there, that's pretty good. We'll get it rounded up and start shaping the scoop. So you can really see the ghosting here, again, because I'm off center, off the center axis. So just like before, when I was rounding up the rough piece, I'm just going to keep turning this until I get it round again. Surprisingly, even off axis, it's still fairly well balanced. Like I said, I'm turning at 700 RPM. So now I'm starting to lay out my scoop. I measured the diameter of my piece, and then I made 2 marks on the stick itself, which correspond to the same length as the diameter is. And that's going to be the outer limits of my ball. I'll just get rid of some wood here, start turning the handle down. It's still cutting well, even though it's dry. Typically, when you dry it out, you don't cut as easily as I did when I was wet, but it's turning fairly well. I just stop it here to take an inspection of any cracks, because there was a bark inclusion on this, but it's actually outside of what's going to be on the center line where my handle itself is going to be. So now we'll start shaping the ball, just using my skew chisel. I'm not great with a skew chisel, but it's an opportunity to practice. Practice time is over. Time to go back to Old Faithful and use a bowl gouge. The other thing that I'm not real good at is just freehanding a perfect sphere. Now, I do see some wood turners that are very, very good at it. They can eyeball it and they know exactly how to reproduce a perfect sphere. I need a pattern. I have astigmatism. Things don't look quite right to me anyways, but I'm not great at eyeballing a perfect sphere, and that's fine. You do what you need to do. At the end, you want a round ball. I got a round ball. I just happened to make a pattern. So notice here I have 3 fairly identical scoops started. You'll notice that I only have 3. I did start with 4, as I mentioned. One of them had too much bark inclusion in it to be useful. Here I am using my template. Again, as I mentioned, I'm not great at eyeballing it. The template works quite well for me. And this is one of those 3 that you saw earlier. So now I'm sanding it up. It's at this point I am done this first step in the process. Once I get that round and I'm comfortable with that, and sand up the outside. At this point, I still have a solid ball with the handle. I did find my skew as a scraper actually worked quite well at just making some final adjustments to the ball itself. Here I'm just using the tip of my skew to make 2 parallel lines in the handle. Then I'm using a piece of laminate sample. You can get these at the hardware store. They give them away for free. Probably not for this reason, but they do give them away for free. And I typically just pick up a couple samples, and they work very, very well for burning into those ridges that I made. Some people do use a wire. I don't like using a wire. Yes, you put a handle on the wire, but wires can catch, and if they do, bad things can happen. So I feel much more comfortable using that piece of laminate, and that does a good job at burning those lines in. So now it's done, this first step. So I'm just going to trim off the 2 ends. There will be a small nub there, which I'll end up sanding, but for the most part, it is done at this point. To remove those final nubs, I'm just taking my pull saw and just cutting them off. A little bit of sanding and they'll be cleaned right up. Now I'm putting the scoop into a jig that I made, so it's just another piece of the same wood, and excuse my head, I know that makes it hard to see, but what I did is I hollowed it out to a profile that matched the ball on the scoop, the handle is coming out through a hole in the side, and then a top which is screwed on, which holds it in place. Now I did find that I had a bit of a wiggle here, so I did end up tightening it up a little bit more and switched my plan a little bit. I decided to start by drilling it out, and that does a good job. The drill also holds it in place while I remove the bulk of the material. You can see the handle spinning out there on the side. You do have to be careful. That is like a propeller on a plane. You don't want to hit that when that's going around. Here I'm just marking on the drill itself so I know the depth, compared it to another ball which I have, which is the same diameter, so I know when I've gone deep enough. I certainly don't want to drill all the way through. For hollowing this out, I found the best tool was my carbide tools, both my square and round. Square to get the rim started, but then switch to round, and it did a very, very good job. Apologize, it's going a little bit out of focus. Sometimes it's focusing on my head rather than on the scoop itself, so I do apologize for that. Again, the carbide tool did a very, very good job at hollowing that out. Here I have another jig, just so I know the depth. To be honest with you, this wasn't overly useful. I need to rethink how I make that jig up. I did end up taking it in and out of my jig a couple times and just going by feel. Almost done at this point. Just a little bit more. Also take the top down a little bit because it does extend above the handle, but I didn't want it to extend too far. I will mention that I'm going to redesign my jig here. There was a bit of movement. You can see the hole's got too much slop in it, and also you'll see here in a minute that the rim is cracked a little bit, so I do need to redesign it a little bit. Just to tighten it up to finish this task, I did put a piece of paper towel behind it, and that worked well, just to finish this up. Here's the jig that I talked about. You can see that top lid is cracked. Again, I'm going to redesign it. I've got a friend that's offered to 3D print it in exchange for a couple scoops, and I'll show that in a later video. Here's the finished product. I think it turned out very, very well. This scoop is about 2 inches in diameter and holds 1 large tablespoon. Leave a comment, let me know what you think, but thank you very much for watching.